When making our list of top 10 campsites in the Wheatbelt, we've taken into account a number of different factors. These include the accessibility of the site, the facilities provided, the space available, whether it's authorised camping, and whether there's camping for all types of different campers, and also the overall attractiveness of the site. Baladjie Rock lies between Beringbooding and Bullfinch. Access is generally suitable for all vehicles, but heavy rain can close the access road as it's unsealed. There are three main camping areas. The main and largest area is right in front of the rock as you drive in. That's where you'll find the toilets. Around the other side of the rock is a smaller site, but that's also suitable for all types of campers. Further along the tracks are more secluded individual sites. Although we've labelled that area as 4x4, it's actually two-wheel drive accessible, but some of the tracks are narrow with overhanging trees, so if you have a big rig or caravan, we strongly suggest that you walk first to check the area out. There's also tracks leading away from the rock to the northwest, and that will take you to sites on the shore of the lake. There are plenty of places to walk here, and the wildflowers are definitely worth checking out in spring. The area is fairly remote, and you do need to be self-sufficient. Elachbutting Rock is northeast of the Wheatbelt town of Beringbooding. Access is via good unsealed roads that are suitable for all types of vehicle. The main campsite is reached by a one-way track leading clockwise around the rock. The facilities there include toilets, seats and tables, and like Baladjie Rock, pets are not permitted at this site. This is the main reason that Elachbutting is not higher on our list. The campsite is suitable for all types of camper, and the rock is an interesting feature to explore. Xantippe is located between Dalwallinu and Kwolyin, and is the only place we know of in WA that starts with an X. Xantippe is unusual in this list in that there are no facilities here. It's for that reason that it sits a bit lower on the list, and just above the two sites that don't allow dogs. It's still a great campsite, even though you do need to be completely self-sufficient, and there's plenty of room. There are lots of wildflowers here in season, and it's quite interesting to walk around the rocky areas. The main camping area is partway up the track on the left. There's not a great deal of room at the old water tank, and we suggest finding a spot closer to the main road. There are one or two possibilities on the right-hand side of the track on the way to the tank, and there is a turnaround at the tank itself, so you can go up and have a look without worrying about being able to turn around. Technically, Petrudor Rock does have a toilet, but it's a very old one, and I doubt that anybody's used it in a very long time. For this reason, the campsite remains at our low end of the campsite list. But in every other way, it's very beautiful at the right time of year. What is the right time of year, I hear you ask? Well, like most places, it really is at its most attractive after winter, when there are nice pools of water and lovely wildflowers to admire. The site seems to be receiving a bit more attention from the local shire. As we note, there are new seats, tables and shelters. We can only hope that this is going to lead to new toilets in the not too distant future. The camp lies to the east of the little town of Petrudor, and almost directly south of Xantippe, the campsite listed just before this one. Marshall Rock is one of the best equipped campsites on our list. It's southeast of Beringbooding and is located between two rock features. Depending on the direction of the wind, this can give you a bit of shelter. There's plenty of room to park, and if you want to get away from other campers, you can find places away from the main camping area that are a bit more secluded. There's plenty of places to walk here, and you can even drive up to the top of one of the rocks and get a good view of the surrounding area. Marshall Rock, like all the following sites, is dog friendly and is accessible to all types of campers. Another campsite not far from Beringbooding is Waddouring Dam. You'll probably notice that the majority of campsites on this list are in shires north of the Great Eastern Highway. The towns in this area seem to have gone the extra mile in providing really excellent campsites for travellers, and you can easily say thank you by visiting the towns and stocking up on fuel and supplies, and by utilising businesses in those areas when you can. Waddouring is on the road from Training to Beringbooding, and although space near the dam is a bit limited, there's plenty of room both sides of the entry track as you drive in. Facilities include a toilet, seats and a bench, a shelter and a fire pit. Wildflowers here are very pretty in springtime, although temperatures can be a bit chilly, so take warm clothes if you're visiting around that time. If the site's busy, it might be a really good idea to walk down first and see how much space is available near the dam, because if there are several rigs set up there, there won't be much room to turn around. Back out in the Beringbooding area, in fact not far west of Elachbutting Rock, is Beringbooding Rock. The campsite here isn't as large as the one at Elachbutting, but pets are allowed, and that's the reason we've placed this site higher on our list. If you don't want to be close to other campers, there are a few more secluded sites along the track that leads around the side of the rock. But once again, we recommend that you walk the track first to ensure that your rig is capable of getting in and out again. As with most of these sites, there are toilets here, as well as seats, tables and fire pits. The rock has some particularly interesting formations, and it's really worth exploring. The first site on our list that's actually south of the Great Eastern Highway is Kwolyin. This was once a little town site, but the only sign left today is an old church. The camp is between Bruce Rock and Kwolyin, and it's very large and easily accessible. Although it's a free site, you can make a donation in order to help cover the costs associated with maintaining the facilities. There are flushing toilets and a camp kitchen, as well as seats, tables and fire pits. There are separate RV and tent camping areas, and the sites are all well spaced out. 3 different walk trails will take you to areas of interest near the campsite, and of course, wildflower season is the best time to visit. Mosquitoes are known to be rather keen on sampling your blood here, so appropriate clothing and repellent is advised. Toapin Weir is a few kilometres north of Kwolyin and has a flushing toilet, seats and a shelter. There was once a barbecue and lighting here, but according to reports we've seen recently, the barbecue has been removed. We don't know if this is temporary or permanent. There's a limited amount of space to park near the toilet, but much more in a large open space just off the track leading in. There's a good walk trail to follow up over the rock. Sadly, there are some reports of large groups of people with uncontrolled dogs using this area. Thoughtless idiots like this are what usually ends up with these campsites being closed down. Eaglestone Rock is located on the edge of Lake Brown, 20 kilometres northeast of the town of Nungarin. As the name implies, the rock is home to eagles, and they can often be seen soaring high above it. Facilities at the rock are toilets, seats and tables. There's plenty of room at the main campsite, and you'll discover a number of other more secluded spots if you want to spend a bit of time looking around. The rock is an interesting place to explore, and like all of these campsites, is most attractive during wildflower season.